It's the grandson of Right Thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light. Get your scripts. Go to the book of John, chapter 14. The Gospel of John, chapter 14. And let's see what we find. Chapter 14, we'll start at verse 15. Let's go. If you love me, keep my commandments. Who's speaking here? A wise thing to do when you read the scriptures is to always consider who's speaking and who are they speaking to. So who's speaking here? Okay. Who is he speaking to? Okay. So if you love him, then what will you do to show him that you love him? You'll keep his commandments. And he's going to tell you what his commandments are. And it's wise of you to receive his commandments and to reject the commandments of the world when they present them to you, which is what we've been talking about recently, about works and faith. Okay? Keep my commandments, and I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter. Another? So Christ is telling you that he's a comforter to the people. Is he not? Is he not? He says he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever. Another comforter, that he will abide with you forever. Even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive. So you notice throughout the scriptures how Abba always reminds us, come out of the world, separate, be you separate, and touch not the unclean thing. The unclean thing is the world. He says they cannot receive the Spirit of truth. The other comforter, they can't receive him. He says, the world, because it seeth him not, because it can't see him. You hear that? Because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him. But you know him, for he dwelleth with you and shall be in you. So where is he? So if you were to tell somebody about the Spirit of truth, where would you tell them that Spirit of truth resided? Would you say something different than what Christ said here? Or would you tell them the same thing? He is in me. And I will not leave you comfortless. I will come to you. Yet a little while, and the world seeth me no more, but you see me. The world seeth me no more in the 3D, but you see me because I am within you. That is what you're looking at. You're not looking outside of yourself, which is what I'm here to remind you to do, because a lot of you forgot. A lot of you have forgotten that. And when you remember it, then I will fade away. I'm simply here to help remind you of what the Master told you. And as soon as your eyes are fixed on the Master, then I will fade away. But you see me, because I live, you shall live also. At that day you shall know that I am in my Father, and you in me, and I in you. Y'all hear that today, elect? So where is he? So if he were to speak, where would he speak from? If he were to do a work, where would he do it? You have to answer the same answer to all of these questions. If the answer changes, then you're changing from the truth. Remember, if you have done it to the least of these, then you have done it to me. Can the world understand that? No, because it doesn't see him. So they don't know him. He just said that. He, verse 21, he that hath my commandments and keepeth them, so not just knowing it, but doing it. Like I said in my video, did you hear it or did you do it? You understand why I'm asking that? He that keepeth my commandment, he it is that loveth me. So if you want to know if someone loves Yahusha, look to see if he's keeping Yahusha's commandment. You have to know Yahusha's commandment in order to know if that man's keeping it or not. You understand that? He it is that loveth me, and he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father. So do you want the Father's love? Then what must you do? Remember, I've told you over and over again, the condemnation of the world is that they reject Christ. It's not because of any works. It is because they reject Christ. You see that? He says, and shall be loved of my Father, and I will love him, and will manifest myself to him. So he that loves me shall be loved of my Father. You want the love of the Father, then you must love Christ, because Christ has the jewels about the Father. He has the knowing of the Father. You see? So you've submitted to Christ's commandments. And as you submitted to Christ's commandments, the Father was pleased with you and revealed himself to you. You understand that? He says, Judas saith unto him, not Iscariot, so this is another Judas, Husband, how is it that you will manifest yourself unto us and not unto the world? You see how there's a distinction and difference between the two? I told you who's talking and who is he talking to. He's talking to his, not the world. So he says, well, how come we're going to be able to see you, but the world's not going to be able to see you? Yahushua answered and said unto him, if a man love me, this is his answer. If a man love me, he will keep my words, and my Father will love him, and we will come to him and make our abode with him. Y'all understand that today? So, if the Father and the Son see someone keeping the commandment, they will come to that man or woman. They will come to that person and reveal themselves to him. Is that not what he said? If a man love me, he will keep my words. If you're keeping Yahusha's words, then the Father will love you for that. If you reject Yahusha's words, then the Father will reject you. It's very simple. He that loveth me not, keepeth not my sayings. Isn't it easy to understand this? If you love him, you keep his sayings. If you don't, then you don't keep his sayings. Let's see what happens if you don't. He that loveth me not, keepeth not my sayings, and the word which you hear is not mine, but the Father's which sent me. So he's saying, the words that I keep telling you, keep my words, they're not mine. They're the Father's. But me and the Father are one, so I'm saying my. That confuses a lot of people when I speak about Yahusha, and I speak as Yahusha a lot of times because he's in me as one. Him and the Father, according to this, have made their abode with me. The grandson, the branch. We're going to cover it here. It's going to make perfect sense as we keep reading. He that loveth me not, keepeth not my sayings, and the word which you hear is not mine, but the Father's which sent me. So when he says, keep my sayings, he's saying, keep Abba's sayings. You see, they're one. These things have I spoken unto you, being yet present with you. That means in the flesh, 3D, where you can see, touch me. I said this to you while you could still touch me and see me. You see? But the Comforter, see, the another that he was talking about, the other he was talking about. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Ghost, you see, whom the Father will send in my name, Isaiah, he shall teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance whatsoever I have said unto you. So you'll often hear me say, I'm just here to remind you. I said it on this video, correct? I'm just here to remind you of what Yahusha said. Somebody might say, well, the Holy Ghost is supposed to do that. The Spirit of truth is supposed to do that. And you said you are. I'm speaking just like Christ was speaking when he said, these are not my words, but the Father's. Well, you said keep your word, because me and the Father are one. Do y'all understand that now? Do you understand that? I and the Spirit of truth are one. You see? Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. Remember, I come not to send peace on earth, but a sword. But to you I give my peace. So there's another clear distinction he's making between two groups. The world and his own. He says, I give you my peace, though. Not as the world gives it, give I to you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. So then why worry? Why stress? Why be upset about anything? That's what he's saying. Don't be troubled. Don't worry. Don't worry. Be happy, right? Don't worry, be happy. That's all you got to do. Because the work already done. You see? He says, yet you have heard how I said unto you, I go away and come again unto you. If you love me, you would rejoice. So, what did I tell you guys to do? Praise without ceasing. See how the Spirit of truth is reminding you of that? To rejoice, because it's done. You can't rejoice if you're stressing about your past sins. You can't rejoice if you're struggling with sin. You can't rejoice if you're at battle with a sin. You can't rejoice if you're working. People don't rejoice when they are all slaving at work, slaving. They don't. But when you're free, you rejoice. When you don't have to fight anymore, then you rejoice. When you don't have to be afraid anymore, then you rejoice. That's what he said. Don't be afraid. If you love me, you would rejoice, because I said I go unto my Father, for my Father is greater than I. And now I have told you before it come to pass, that when it come to pass, you might believe. Hereafter I will not talk much with you, for the prince of this world comes and has nothing in me. He's on his way, and he has nothing in me. He has no place inside of my body where he can live. That's what Christ just said. We are the members of the body. This enemy that's on his way, he said, the prince of this world, the prince of this world, he coming, and he hath nothing in me. but that the world may know that I love the Father, and as the Father gave me commandment, even so I do. Arise, let us go hence. As my Father gave me commandment, that's what I tell you guys. Okay? Chapter 15, here we go. I am, in all caps. The I and the am is in all caps. Did you notice that? Why you think it's capped? That's right. I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Who planted it? The Father did. Every branch in me that bears not fruit, he taketh away. The Father does. He taketh away, and every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. Every branch. So the followers of Yahusha, the ones who claim to follow him, the ones who claim to follow him, if they don't bear fruit, what happens to them? Abba does something to them. Well, what about the ones that do bear some fruit? He purges them. Purges means cuts off all the unnecessary dross of your life so that you can continue to bear fruit and even bear more. Your branches can't have a bunch of dead weight hanging on it because you won't be able to bear fruit. So he has to prune you. That's what we just heard, right? Now you are clean. Remember what I told you guys? Now you are clean. So when are we clean? It's done. Now means presently, right? Right now. It's my money and I want it now. That means presently. So we clean now through the word which I have spoken unto you, the baptism of fire. That's the baptism. He just explained it to you. You're clean through the washing of the word. Isn't that what he said? That's the baptism. He says, for through the word which I have spoken unto you, verse 4, abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can you, except you abide in me. So Christ is making it clear what part of the plant he is. He is the true vine of the plant. I am the true vine. Every branch that is planted into me, you see, every branch that is planted into him gets its nourishment from him, gets its information, its wisdom, its knowledge, its everything to sustain itself in every way comes through that true vine unto him. From the Father who purges and nourishes it and fertilizes it and keeps it and protects it until it grows into its fullness. See? I am the vine. He says it again. You are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me you can do nothing. A branch can't do anything if it's snatched off the vine. Y'all see those trees out there? You see all of those branches in the air? Don't you see they all come down to a central vine in the middle, which we call the trunk of the tree? The trunk of the tree. The Messiah shall be cut off. A sprout shall grow from the stump that was cut. Behold, I don't see you anymore, but you will see me. How are you going to manifest yourself to us but not the world? Because the prince of this world coming, I'm about to be cut off. The stump is going to get cut. The true vine is going to get cut. You see? But a branch will grow from the stump. if you know the prophecy. Continuing. Herein is my Father glorified, that you bear much fruit. So shall you be my disciples, his branches. As the Father have loved me, so have I loved you. Continue you in my love. If you keep my commandments, you shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. So let's see here. The Father's commandments is who? Everybody on the earth says that they're serving and keeping his commandments. Now, Yahusha says, I keep my Father's commandments. So how come the Jews, who said that they were keeping God's commandments, had enmity and aught with Christ about how he lived? Because they were doing two different laws. While one was saying he was serving God's laws, he was not. Because he didn't know the ultimate law, how to fulfill it. It's written in the scripture. Paul tells you all about how the Jew missed it. You see? If you keep my commandments, you shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. Have kept, past tense. These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. This, here it goes, is my commandment. So then this is God's commandment. Y'all hear that? This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Was that a long list? Did it take a lot of time to receive that? Did you have to take out a notepad and take notes in order to get all of the information? Or was it very simple? So if a man does that, then what happens to him? All of those blessings Christ said out of his own mouth will come upon that man. The Father and the Son will come and go into him. Now, if they go into him, does he become one with them? Or is he still separated from them? What do you think? He says, greater love has no man than this. If y'all want love, and you want love to the ultimate degree, then you should be listening here good. That a man lay down his life for his friends. Self-sacrifice is the greatest love that a man can obtain. Hear it and hear it well. The world cannot hear this. They will ultimately reject this. The little flock hears that and is willing to make the sacrifice of giving up their lives for their friends. You see? He says, henceforth, from now on, I call you not servants, for the servant knows not what his husband does. But I have called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father I have made known unto you. All that I have heard of the Father I have made known unto you. Love your neighbor as yourself. Wait. What else did you hear from God? I told you everything I heard from him. Wow. When you're faced with a situation, face it with this in mind. Before I act against that person, what would I want a person to do to me if I were in that situation? Then that's what I'll do. Because if that's what you're thinking before you act, then you won't strike them, you won't shoot them, you won't maim them, you won't spit upon them, definitely won't do these things if you knew that that will happen to you if you do it. You're loving your neighbor as yourself, so you spit on him. Okay, so you want your neighbor to spit on you. No, I don't. So don't spit on your neighbor. That's what man keeps missing. That's what he rejects ultimately. It ain't a whole lot of some hard stuff to understand. It's that simple thing, guys. When you did something, you didn't consider it was you. That's all. If you know you did something to somebody today and it was flat out wrong to do it, simply ask forgiveness for it and move on and sin no more. Where we at, y'all? He says, you have 16. You have not chosen me. See, the people calling themselves the chosen ones. I told you, if anybody on this earth is saying that they're a chosen one, ask them who chose them. Ask them. Say, you're chosen? Well, who chose you? And then see what they say. And then when they give you an answer, say, well, what is his commandment? And then see what they say. So all you got to do, and this should be their answers. Well, who chose you, chosen one? Yahushua Christ. The Messiah chose me. Okay? What is his commandment? That you love your neighbor as yourself. You love one another. That's his commandment. Alrighty then. Check, buddy. Now, if you come and say you're a chosen one, well, who chose you? I did. Okay. Who chose you? Oh, the universe chose me. The universe chose you? Okay. Oh, boy. Shit. Who chose you? Inky and Enlil chose me. Well, who chose you? Osiris chose me. Ra chose me. Well, what is his commandment? That's all you got to do, little children. These things I command you. Oh, wait, let me go back. You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you. Past tense, present tense, or future tense. All right, then. And ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit. You have to be a branch in order to bear fruit, correct? All right, then. And your fruit should remain, that whatsoever you shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you. These things I command you, that you love one another. Boy, set the script down real quick and just talk to y'all real quick. Did y'all hear that again? These things I command you, that you love one another. If you keep my commandment and keep my word that you love one another, then everything will be all good. Hey, Yahushua, what should we do? Love one another. Hey, I've been keeping the law since my youth up. What more do I miss? Okay, well, how do you read the law? Thou shalt not, thou shalt not, thou shalt not. All right, yeah, go ahead on and do that. But how about loving your neighbor as yourself? Can you do that? Oh, wait, I got sorrow now. Y'all reject that little part. Y'all reject that little part right there. He who loves has fulfilled the law. Greater love hath no man than this. Love. If you love one another. Ain't that what he said? He says, these things I command you, that you love one another. Verse 18. If the world hate you, you know. Past tense, present tense, or future tense. Present. You know. Not you think or you guess. No. You know that it hated me before it hated you. See? The one you love is hated. That's what he's telling you. The world hate him. You thought the world loved him. Nope, they don't. If you were of the world would love his own. But because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. So you were in the world. Remember the branch? He was a brand plucked out of the fire. I have chosen you out of the world to bring forth much fruit. A branch plucked out of the fire. Chosen out of. I'm not saying nothing that the other elect have not experienced as well. If you a branch, I'm here to remind you, branches, ain't I? I'm reminding you right now, ain't I? What's in my hand? If you were of the world would love his own. But because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore, or this is why, the world hates you. Because I chose you out of it. That's why they hate you. Because you're chosen. Remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you, will also. If they have kept my saying, then they will keep yours also. You see that? Because look, if I'm reminding you of what Yahusha told you, then if you keep his sayings, then you will rejoice when you hear me talking, because you see that what I'm saying is exactly what Yahusha would tell you. So then you'll keep the same thing because it's the same words. Easy to be understood? But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. They don't know love. If I had come and spoken unto them, if I had not come, and spoken unto them, they had not sinned. But now they have no cloak for their sin. The truth has revealed all things to them. Now they don't have any place to hide. He that hateth me hateth my Father also. Remember I told you guys about Rap the News? Serve God, but to hell with Christ. Well, if you hate me, then you hate the Father. See? If I had not done among them the works which none other man did, they had not had sin. But now have they both seen and hated both me and my Father. But this cometh to pass, that the word might be fulfilled that is written in their law. Their law. They hated me without a cause. But when the Comforter is come, whom I will send unto you from the Father, even the Spirit of truth, the same thing he said earlier, which proceedeth from the Father, a branch from the root. Christ sent, the Son of God sends this Comforter from the Father, a branch from the root. That's the prophecy. Correct? Okay then. Who I will send unto you from the Father, even the Spirit of truth, which proceedeth from the Father, he shall testify of me. So if the Spirit of truth come upon you, then you shall testify of Christ. That's the proof. That's the proof that the Comforter is there. You hear it? Okay. And you shall also, so you got something else you got to do. What else? You shall also bear witness, because you have been with me from the beginning. You shall bear witness. Remember I asked you guys yesterday, why does he say 2 witnesses? Why does he say that? So you shall also bear witness of the things that he's saying that they are true. See? Because it will happen in you. Because you've been with me from the beginning. Chapter 16. These things have I spoken unto you, that you should not be offended. Well, why would you be offended? Let's see. They shall put you out of the synagogues, the churches. They'll put you out. Yeah, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that they're doing God service. See? And these things will they do unto you, because they have not known the Father nor me. But these things have I told you, that when the time shall come, you may remember that I told you of them. And these things have I said not. These things I said not unto you at the beginning, because I was with you. But now I go my way to him that sent me, and none of you ask me, whither goest thou? But because I have said these things unto you, sorrow hath filled your heart. Nevertheless, I tell you the truth. It is expedient for you that I go away. Expedient means well for you, good for you. It is good for you that I go away. Does that sound good? That he's going away? Does that sound like a good thing? He says it is. Well, why is it a good thing? For if I go not away, if I don't go away, the Comforter will not come unto you. Why, guys? Why does Christ have to go away so that the Comforter can come? Because if he doesn't go away, the Comforter can't come. Why? But if I depart, but if I do go away, I will send him unto you. And when he is come, he will reprove the world of sin. Reprove means correct. He will tell the world the truth about sin. The elect, that is. He will remind them of it because they have forgotten. They think sin is all kind of stuff. That's what y'all been hearing in these last videos, y'all. So Christ didn't lie to you. He will reprove the world of sin. That's one thing he will do. And the next thing he will do, and of righteousness. He will tell you what righteousness really is. Because the world has been lying to you, little flock, about what it is. It's outwardly, they say. It's having status. It proves that God loved you. If you were rich, then that would show the world that God loved you and that he blessed you, and then they would come to you. That's a lie. That's not righteousness. So he will correct the world of sin and of righteousness and of judgment. He will tell them about how to judge righteously. Oh boy. And of sin, because they believe not on me. See? So he's going to say, hey guys, I know you think that sin is doing all that stuff that you're doing. Porn and smoking and drinking and taking drugs and doing all that shit y'all think y'all doing as sin. Sin is you ain't believe on Christ. That's the condemnation. That's what he'll tell you. Of righteousness, because I go to my Father and you see me no more. So righteousness is faith. Does it take faith to believe in something you can't see? So, guys, y'all can't witness it today and see it being fulfilled? Oh, gosh. Of righteousness, because I go to my Father and you see me no more. Righteousness is faith. You have to believe Christ by faith now. Of judgment, because the prince of this world is judged. The one he said was coming, the prince of this world. He's judged now. He was going to tell you that he is. Well, how does he know that he is? Because he was a brand plucked out of the fire, and Satan was there ready to accuse him. And he was rebuked by Michael. He was rebuked and told, the Most High rebuked thee. You can't have him. So he lost, and Christ's word overcame. Do y'all hear it? He's bearing witness to that event, is what Christ is saying here. He says, of judgment, because the prince of this world is judged, and I have yet many things to say unto you, but you cannot bear them now. Y'all can't take it now. I wish I could tell y'all everything. That's what he literally said. He says, howbeit, when he, the Spirit of truth, is come, he will guide you into all truth, for he shall not speak of himself, but whatsoever he shall hear, that shall he speak, and he will show you things to come. So, he doesn't speak of himself means he doesn't tell you things that he has come up with on his own thoughts and feelings and ideas. He doesn't tell you that. He only tells you what he hears from above. See? He shall glorify me. So when he speaks of Christ, he's going to speak of Christ he's going to glorify Christ. In other words, guys, simple, very simple. He shall glorify me, for he shall receive of mine, and he shall show it unto you. He gonna get from me, and he gonna show it to you. A little while, and you shall not see me, and again a little while, and you shall see me, because I go to the Father. And we'll stop there. So, how do we get the love of the Father on our lives? By keeping his commandment. And they are not grievous, are they? Did he give you a long list? Like I said, do you even need a notebook to remember what he told you? Nope. When you go to Yahushua's class, you don't need a notebook because your notebook is the heart. It's jotting down everything he says because it responds in relationship to truth that it hears. And because he's perfect truth, the heart abounds and soaks it up like a sponge. That's what it was created for, to receive the word and rejoice over it. That's what the woman was created to do. Y'all can understand what I'm saying when I'm saying that. Y'all hear me today? So the greatest love is to give up your life for your friends. To no longer chase after material things. To no longer run along with the world anymore, but to sacrifice that life and give it up so that you can receive the Spirit of truth and the Holy Ghost that will guide you in all truth. And then you will become a mouthpiece and you will reprove the world of sin and correct it. And you will judge righteously and you will have faith in what you cannot see, just like he told you. Siloam Israel.